Time now for our Sunday Spotlight, shining on tennis legend Billie Jean King. 40 years ago this week, she was the reigning Wimbledon champ, fighting for equal pay for female players when former tennis pro Bobby Riggs challenged her to a battle of the sexes. GMA anchor Robin Roberts takes us back.
What a scene it is, the Houston Astrodome.
There was no way I was going to miss this. I was so proud of Billie Jean.
Beautiful shot by Billie Jean King.
I remember being so nervous I had to pace. I was so scared for her and for all of us.
The comedy has gone out of Bobby Riggs.
Billie Jean was, you could pop a quarter off of her. You know, she was cool. She wasn't playing with him.
It was a match that seemed to captivate just about all of us. Bobby Riggs, 55 years old, the proud male chauvinist.
The male is king, the male is supreme.
Billie Jean King, the 29-year-old crusader for women's rights.
The feminist thing, how important is that, Billie?
The women's movement is important to me.
America's culture clash spilling onto the tennis court with an astounding 50 million viewers on edge, wondering who would come out on top.
I can't even remember any kind of event in any other sport that brought out the emotion in people as this match did.
40 years ago. Can you believe we are still talking about it?
I know every time I walk out of the apartment that someone's going to ask me about the match, and they do.
But it almost didn't happen. Billie refused to play Riggs until she saw him crush Margaret Court, the top women's player at the time, in the first, less publicized battle of the sexes.
I said, I'm going to have to play him now.
So you knew at that moment?
Oh, I knew at that moment. I had to play him. I thought we were on our way. We're changing things for women, and I wanted that to continue.
But Billie, who had been fighting for equal pay for women, also worried another loss to the trash-talking Riggs could set everything back.
She'll serve and volley, which she does very, very well for a woman. And
if you don't beat him,
it's horrible. It'd be horrible for all of us.
That was a really hard place to be in, Billie.
It was between a rock and hard place, Robin.
I know.
Yes, I was. I felt like I just felt I had to win. I just emotionally, I felt like it was life and death.
Still, she never let it show, starting with that grand entrance pulled in a chariot by men from the Rice University track team. You were like Cleopatra, and Bobby's being brought in with all these well-endowed women. Let's put it like that. Were you comfortable with the spectacle?
Yes.
That it was?
The promoter of the match goes, well, you're a feminist. You probably won't want to do this. And I said, are you kidding? It's showtime. I love this.
But by the time the match began, Billie was all business, surging to a first-set lead before Riggs stormed back. What were you thinking at that point?
I knew I had to win the first set. I'd never played 3 out of 5 sets. So I knew it was so important.
What was billed as an epic battle turned into a rout, with Billie cruising, winning 3 straight sets.
It is over. Let's watch.
What did he say when he hopped across the net to you?
He said, I underestimated you. He was trying his guts out every point.
Which is why she brushed off new accusations from a man claiming he overheard Riggs agree to throw the match to pay off his gambling debt.
People are upset I beat his butt.
Even 40 years later?
Yeah, they are. If Bobby beat me, then he had $1 million winner take all. It was totally in his self-interest to win this match.
you came out on top.
He does.
I have to congratulate you on that.
Thank you,
because
dear.
I was supposed to be
Thank you,
good
dear.
at that myself.
I really respected him and liked him. He's one of my heroes. I stayed in touch with Bobby the night before he passed away. I talked to him. And
what did he say to you on
He
that
said to me,
night?
you know, I understand now what you were trying to tell me. He said, we did make a difference. And I told him I loved him, and he told me he loved me. And I think he was proud of himself.
Look at that.
It's okay.
And so many of us are proud of Billie, who's now celebrated at the tennis center named in her honor. Her stellar play and inner fire endeared her to the New York crowd.
What are we going to do with you? She's getting riled up.
Today, thanks largely to this tennis trailblazer and 39-time Grand Slam champion, all 4 majors award equal prize money for men and women.
She's the smartest and the wisest person I've ever met in my life. Every woman tennis player, every woman athlete should thank her personally for building up a sport and confidence and power in women.
A legacy in many ways made possible by that stunning triumph 40 years ago. What do you hope that this match did for women athletes when you think of today's players?
I hope that it will encourage them to help the next generations to make their lives better, because that's what my generation wanted for them. They are living our dream.
for this week. Robin Roberts, ABC News, New York.
Our thanks to Billie Jean King and Robin for that. And now we honor our fellow Americans who serve and sacrifice. This week, the Pentagon released the name of 2 soldiers killed in Afghanistan. That's all for us today. Thanks for sharing part of your Sunday with us. Check out World News with David Muir tonight, and George is right back here with you next week. We leave you with a special tribute to the 12 men and women lost this week at the Washington Navy Yard. We remember.